What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? This, of course, here is Jamiroquai 2000 with another year-end episode of the QUAICast, a Jamiroquai podcast for the Jamily by the Jamily. In this year-end episode of the QUAICast podcast, I'm going to be doing a rundown of all the events that have happened with Jamiroquai, the band members of Jamiroquai, and everything Jamiroquai related throughout of the calendar year of 2022. This rundown of events is being read from my yearly R. Jamiroquai and R. TheRedditJamily year in review post that was posted back in early December of 2022, running down all of the latest events and everything that happened with Jamiroquai transpiring in the calendar year of 2022. I will be running down every news item basically by month, so I will be starting at September of 2021 and running all the way to November of 2022. Starting off in September of 2021, and what would turn out to be a remastering of the latter half of the Jamiroquai music videography, which at this time is at a number of nearly 16 to 17 music videos that have been converted into 4K and HD on the official Jamiroquai YouTube channel. The groundbreaking music video from Jamiroquai from 1996, of course I'm talking about Virtual Insanity, was recently remastered into 4K back in September of 2021 and uploaded onto the official Jamiroquai YouTube channel. And it should be noted that that music video upload after less than a year and change of being on YouTube has racked up over 10 million views on the YouTube video sharing platform. Also, in the month of September 2021, the band members of Tronic started a new campaign to release their upcoming second album entitled One Do Trace, featuring old and new material on a hot neon pink vinyl release on the Q-Rates fundraising website, I should say. And then in the month of October of 2021, a new 25th anniversary Traveling Without Moving album merch, including a double yellow vinyl reissue of said album, themed clothing, and a vinyl slip mat were put up for pre-order on the official Jamiroquai online store. In December of 2021, after 10 years under viewership geolocking, the 1997 High Times music video from Jamiroquai made its triumphant return to YouTube. And coming into the new year of 2022, in January of 2022, after 3 sold-out sessions throughout the latter part of 2021, they couldn't resist doing one more for a 4th time. The fine folks at Pitchback Playback did another Traveling Without Moving album listening session on January 19th of 2022 at the Soho Hotel in the screening rooms in London. Also in the month of January 2022, continuing the 25th anniversary celebrations of Traveling Without Moving, a new official remix of Jamiroquai material, this time for the classic single Virtual Insanity, was done by the artist Balaclava, was released on streaming platforms and for paid download in that month. Also, rounding off the month of January 2022, Junyo Watanabe, a famed Japanese fashion designer, in association with JK of Jamiroquai, released his very hyped Fall and Winter 2022 fashion line, which was inspired by the band Jamiroquai. In April of 2022, after a nearly 2-year-long wait, the Toby Smith Memorial Documentary, which I'm proud to say I have had the opportunity to contribute to, was originally played with his Remembrance Conference a year prior at his alma mater, Marlborough College in the UK, was finally released onto YouTube. Also in the month of April of 2022, it was announced that Jamiroquai's only live gig for the first in nearly 2 years off touring due to the pandemic would be at the inaugural Andalusia Big Festival in Spain in September of 2022. Then in May of 2022, The Sandbox, a leading decentralized gaming virtual world and subsidiary of Amico Brands, announced that it would be partnering with the band Jamiroquai and many other IPs, the seminal funk band led by JK of Jamiroquai, to bring the group's freewheeled essence to The Sandbox. The strategic collaboration was developed in association with Bravado, Universal Music Group's industry-leading brand management division. And rounding off in May of 2022, in addition to the Sandbox X Jamiroquai Metaverse announcement, a merch drop took place on the online Jamiroquai store of new t-shirts and art to celebrate this major announcement and collaboration. And then in the month of August of 2022, for the members of the Jamily with deep pockets, the recently announced Junyo Watanabe X Jamiroquai Fall-Winter 2022 clothing line went on sale in Japan and then went worldwide in the following months. Also in the month of August of 2022, Jamiroquai's own Rob Harris, the guitarist of Jamiroquai, started his own podcast on multiple platforms entitled Rob's Funk and Junk. Also in the month of August of 2022, the band members of Jamiroquai met up and started rehearsing for their upcoming headlining tour slot at the upcoming Andalusia Big Festival in 2022. And then rounding off the month of August of 2022, early reports came out online that later on would be confirmed by Jamiroquai and Sony Music to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the band. Jamiroquai and Sony Music UK would be reissuing 4 Jamiroquai albums from Jamiroquai: Emergency on Planet Earth, A Funk Odyssey, Dynamite, and High Times, the singles, onto vinyl for release throughout October through December of 2022. Then, starting in the month of September 2022, on September 9th, 2022, Jamiroquai took the co-headlining stage after a 2-year pandemic live performance hiatus at the Andalusia Big Festival in Malaga, Spain, and gave an amazing rollicking performance at that said musical festival. Also in the month of September 2022, upon further examination, the lettering font on the upcoming 2022 High Times, the singles 1992 through 2006 vinyl reissue album cover got a bit of an updating, much like what happened with Emergency on Planet Earth through Traveling Without Moving's album reissue album covers throughout 2013 and 2017 in those reissues. Also in September of 2022, the solo vinyl release of Everybody's Going to Moon, which saw a limited edition vinyl release in 2021, made its official music streaming debut on multiple music streaming platforms. Also in September 2022, it was discovered and later on confirmed that a special track jacket that JK wore during his performance with Jamiroquai at the Andalusia Big Festival was part of a new iRock clothing line branded by Jamiroquai that is yet to be released or yet to be coming out for the major public to buy. Rounding off in September of 2022, much like they did a year prior, at Pitchback Playback announced 2 new sessions celebrating 30 years of Jamiroquai's debut album Mercy on Planet Earth for National Album Day in the UK for 2022, to be done in London and Manchester on October 11th and October 13th of 2022. Then in the month of October 2022, JK of Jamiroquai was a guest on the Zane Lowe interview series on Apple Music, where JK reflected back on 30 years of the band's history, his interest in new musical collaborations, and many more topics. Also in October 2022, as a panel guest on the Zoe Ball Breakfast Show on BBC Radio 2 on October 14th of 2022, in some of the most exciting news that the Jamily has yet to hear from the Hat in the Hat's mouth himself, JK near the end of the show confirmed that Jamiroquai would be re-entering the studio to start recording on Jamiroquai Album 9 in winter 2022 into 2023. Also in the month of October 2022, a funk band called Resolution 88, in partnership with the family of the late Toby Smith and with the blessing of JK of Jamiroquai, recorded a charity album entitled Midnight Funk, a tribute to Toby Smith of Jamiroquai, to benefit the Action Against Cancer charity. That charity album is still available for anybody who wants to pre-order it, to pay download it at the Resolution 88's official Bandcamp page. And rounding off the month of October 2022, it was announced on social media Jamiroquai would be one of the headliners for the upcoming Live Them Festival 2023, happening between June 28th through June 2nd of 2023 in Lancashire, UK. In November of 2022, the band members of Jamiroquai met up again to start band rehearsal towards their future Live Them Festival 2023 headlining tour slot. And finishing off this rundown of all the news items of Jamiroquai for the year 2022, on November of 2022, shortly after the release of the first 2022 vinyl reissues for Emergency on Planet Earth, another merchandise drop took place on the official Jamiroquai store with new clothing designs, art, and a Buffalo Man vinyl slip mat over on the official Jamiroquai online store. Like I prefaced at the beginning of this episode, this year-end episode of the QUAICast Podcast, all this information and much, much more can be found on the official summary posts I posted on both of the twin subreddits of the online Jamily, the R Jamiroquai and the R TheRedditJamily expanded 2022 year in review 30 years of Jamiroquai edition. Summary posts can be found on both of the subreddits, and you can find links to both of those summary posts down in the description area of this upload of the QUAICast Podcast on YouTube and Anchor FM. I'd like to send a very big thank you to everybody on the Online Jamily who have contributed to both of the online subreddits of the Online Jamily, and to everybody who I've interacted with throughout the year of 2022. Thank you all for the support. It means the world to me. I recently hit over 1,000 subscribers on my Instagram and, of course, on my YouTube. And I can continue to be very, very humbled and very much appreciate all of the support and positivity I've gotten from the Online Jamily, from the band members of Jamiroquai, and the fine folks at Virgin EMI and Universal Music in general. As always, this is JamiroFan 2000, and I will endeavor to try to bring you more QUAICast podcast content going into the new year of 2023, and I have a strong feeling it's going to be a busy year for the band members and, of course, the band Jamiroquai as we enter into the new year. As always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Everyone have a great holiday season, and I'll see you again real soon with much more content here on the QUAICast Podcast, a Jamiroquai podcast for the Jamily by the Jamily. Bye-bye, everybody, and happy holidays.